Hey Robert, how's it going? Think you're the first person jumping on. I'm still looking for some music. So, welcome to the Wednesday Winter Wellness Series. This year we're doing Indigenous Wellness as the theme, or excuse me, Indigenous Mindfulness as the theme for this year's Winter Wellness Series. Robert, do you mind if I record the session? That way I can upload it to YouTube for those that don't have Zoom or can't join us. Um, so today is Hallows Eve, right? The night before Halloween. They say the veil is thin right now, so keeping the ancestors especially in mind tonight as we do our practices. And let's fix there. So we're gonna do a couple practices tonight, standing and sitting, but first we'll get tuned in. Just to start our mindfulness session, begin by sitting in a chair or on the ground, something solid, bringing the hands together, spine is straight, chest is lifted up, chin is slightly down, and head is pulled in slightly to the back, and begin rubbing the palms together. This stimulates the brain, and start breathing deeply, inhaling deeply. And as you exhale, let go of everything that happened today, all the stories, all the thoughts, everything playing in your head, and inhale again. Suspend the breath, inhale a little bit more. And exhale, letting everything go, feeling the stress of the day melt away. 2 more deep breaths, inhaling deeply. And exhaling, letting everything go. Last deep breath, and then we're going to chant the word Ong, O-N-G, or you can just hum. And inhale deeply. Thumbs to the sternum, 5 pounds of pressure in, 5 pounds of pressure back, pressing with the palms, and begin. Ong.
Um,
Inhaling and exhaling and relaxing, and just noticing the difference in your own energy from 5 minutes ago till now. So today we're going to do some practices for the heart, the solar plexus, and the vagus nerve. I have a lot of distractions right now going on. The cats are, we have a couple of cats. One's name is Bob Morales, like Bob from Bamba. He's very bad. He's being incredibly bad right now. We have a dog
oh,
with a
La
couple.
Bamba Bob. I know him.
So, excuse background noise if you hear a lot of background noise. So we're gonna start with standing up, just being in the body, shaking a little bit, just feeling present in the body. And we're going to stretch down. First, we're going to do an active stretch, stretching as far as you can with the legs pretty straight. Knees not totally straight, slightly bent, but you still want to feel stretch behind the knees and the back of the legs. Inhaling deeply and exhaling and stretching a little bit further in your capacity. Inhaling deeply and stretching a little further on the exhale. And now in this same posture, not in a stretch, but just hanging loosely. We're going to hang loosely with the head down, arms just kind of spaghetti by the side, or drop down in front of you, I should say. And what this does, this exercise is for the heart. Takes the pressure off of the heart. Any inverted practice, whether it's child's pose or a relaxed front bend, they can prevent heart attack, heart disease, any type of heart conditions. Doing this practice 3 minutes a day.
Feels good.
And then slowly coming up vertebrae by vertebrae, imagining your vertebrae stacking one on top of the other. And again, shaking it out. And the music I have playing in the background, it's not really music, but I guess it is. It's a tone, but it's hertz frequencies for the solar plexus. Today is in numerology a 3-day, since it's the 30th. You can come sitting down if you want to come sitting down. We're going to do some practices for the solar plexus now. And the solar plexus, when we think of the solar plexus, it's very male dominated energy. It's our ability to go get things done, like think hunter energy. And that is associated with the solar plexus, which is like the element of fire, or represented by the sun. And it's also willpower. In like Eastern medicine, the solar plexus is very connected to the disease of alcoholism. Like if the solar
Wow.
plexus is out of balance, the person may tend to have tendencies towards alcoholism, or any addiction, really. So we'll be doing a specific breathing technique for the solar plexus to activate that energy center. And the way this breathing technique works. So first of all, I should give medical disclaimers. If anyone has high blood pressure, is pregnant, or is on their moon time, do not do the root block part of the exercise, which is the squeezing of the lower muscles of the body, the muscles of elimination, the lower stomach. It can increase blood pressure. And if your blood pressure is already high, you don't want to create any counterindicative like health conditions doing the practice. And also the navel pumping, if you're pregnant or on your moon time, which for the one student in class tonight, the one attendee, I don't think would be an issue, but anybody watching after the recording is done, don't do the stomach pumping, or just do the very light stomach pumping if you're on your moon time or pregnant, because you don't want to cause more distress to the reproductive organs. So we're going to inhale deeply And exhale. And with the air held out, we're going to pump the navel as many times as you can. And this may hurt a lot. If it's a muscle we're not used to working with, it can be a little bit painful at first. And when you need to, inhale and then exhale again and repeat the process of pumping the navel until you can't anymore. And we're just going to continue this cycle for the next few minutes. And if it feels comfortable for you, you can close your eyes and see if you get any visualizations with this energy center, or you can create a visual of fire or the sun, both which are correlated with this specific center. And when you can no longer pump, inhale and then exhale, repeat the cycle. And it's said that in addition to willpower, this energy center has a lot to do with digestion. If you have digestion issues, this center can be out of alignment. So this exercise is really good for increasing willpower, increasing self-confidence, and digestive issues. Also, from like a spiritual perspective, it's said to, like when you activate this center, it's said to burn, like say karma, or help burn away destructive behavior or things that you want to change. Like you can set an intention for the practice, like I want to get rid of this, and visualize putting whatever it is in the fire and burning it away. Like for me, I still struggle with like instantly feeling like, I guess it would be shame. Like if somebody, a supervisor or somebody I'm contracted with or anything like that, or a client, I need to talk to you, or even my kid. Can I talk to you later? I instantly get this like, oh, I did something bad. I'm bad, just a real deep feeling, which is very much connected to our historical and ancestral traumas, intergenerational traumas. So for me, that's something I want to put into the fire to get rid of.
Mm.
Just to connect these exercises back to Indigenous mindfulness. And a lot of these exercises are rooted in Eastern philosophy. Still pumping the navel. At this point, probably feeling a little bit weak in that center. That's okay. That's why we're activating. And inhale deeply. Exhale. And on the exhale, hold the breath out. And squeeze the root block, squeezing the organs of elimination and the lower abdomen. And that pushes the cerebral spinal fluid up the channel, central nervous channel, I think it's called, in the spinal column.
Mm.
I mentioned this last week. The event says it goes to 6:45, but it actually goes to just 6:40 since it's the free version of the app.
No, it's all good.
So we'll start to finish class, the session around 6:35 and wrap up by 6:40 so we don't get cut off. Just taking a moment to check in and tune into the body, into the mind. What's your mind doing? How is your spirit doing? Mindfulness practices are very valuable because when we're able to slow down our mind, we can slow down our reactions. We can slow down our communication. We can even slow down it feels like slowing down time in certain instances. I've noticed falling off a horse or um, practicing martial arts. It's almost like an experience of getting to slow down space and time to create a
mm,
certain outcome. So mindfulness is really powerful when we apply it to every area of life. When it comes to wanting to create change. So this next practice is a vagus nerve practice. The vagus nerve is super important when it comes to trauma and chronic health conditions for the simple reason that it's the main nerve that runs through our body. And it sounds like Vegas is in Las Vegas, but it's not spelled that way. It's Vagus, vagus nerve. And it's the nerve that has to do with our parasympathetic nervous system. It's how we relax. And it's connected, touches on our brain, it wraps around our heart, and it goes down into our stomach. So, as you can imagine, if we're carrying constant stress in that nerve, it can affect the brain, the heart, and stomach, the digestion. Which there's definitely a connection to all sorts of trauma and health conditions. So our ability to relax this nerve, it allows those major organs to relax and to release trauma that our body carries. So this exercise is really simple. We're going to do it for 1 minute. We're going to put our fingers right below our collarbones, feet are flat on the ground, and we're just going to tap back and forth. Eyes can be closed if that's comfortable, or they can be open, and remember to breathe. Deeply. The breath and exhale. And again, hold the breath out for as long as you can comfortably. Inhale. And again, just check in and notice your breathing. Developing a relationship with the breath is a core part of mindfulness. I know when I'm anxious or angry or if I'm anticipating something, I'll hold my breath. And that's a trauma response in itself. And that increases anxiety. So
Huh.
even after 15 years of doing yoga and breath work, I still catch myself holding my breath in situations. So it's like uh, a response that goes literally back to infancy. So I don't know if it's something that I'll ever be able to heal, but being mindful every day gives me more of an opportunity to exercise control and regulation over myself when most of my life, a lot of things have been out of control. So it's a really great tool, just noticing the breath and
Mm.
developing that relationship.
Yeah.
So speaking of breath, our next breathing practice is going to be a breathing practice for the solar plexus, for that sun energy. It's specifically for the Pingla nadi in the body. There's a female nerve that runs down the body and a male nerve that runs down the body. So we're going to work with the male nerve. Since it's a solar plexus day, we're going to work with that energy. So we're going to close off the left nostril, however you're comfortable doing it with your first finger, your thumb, whatever's comfortable. And the eyes are closed, spine is straight, and we're just going to inhale and exhale through the right nostril. Halfway through. And I know my mind is starting to wander a lot of times. Have like a 2 minute threshold, but breathing past when our monkey mind kicks in is where we develop the meditative. Keep going for about 5 more minutes. That's it. And inhale deeply. And exhale. Hold the breath out. Exhale a little more. And inhale. So that specific breathing practice is great for getting clarity, energy, motivation, all that kind of stuff. The last practice we're going to do tonight, I just learned it's pretty cool. It's a haka breathing practice from the Maori. I learned it from a Cree woman in a women's healing circle that I attended the last full moon virtually. Um, so it's like a really strong warrior breath. It's similar to the breath of fire. We're going to stand up for this practice and we're going to face the four different directions. I'm not sure how you guys do your prayers. I was taught to start with the west, so I'm going to start with the west, but you're welcome to start with whatever direction speaks to you.
Okay.
Um, so the breath, you're gonna have your hands like in fists by your side, like in a warrior stance, kind of a wide stance with the feet a little bit past hip width. And we're gonna breathe powerfully through the nose, pumping the navel, and set the intention to throw anything you want to get rid of into the fire. For me, I'm going to be throwing shame into the fire, and we're going to pray to the directions with our breath to help us remove those barriers so that we can be the fullest potential expression that Creator put us here to be. So that's the practice, and we're going to do about a minute for each direction. And there's going to be boogers and snot flying everywhere, so don't worry about that. That just happens with the breath. And begin. Turn. And turn. Turn. And take a deep breath in and inhale again and let it all go on the exhale. And you can come sitting if you'd like. I always forget what a workout breathing is. uh, so, yeah, I bet when people hear, oh, breath work, oh, mindfulness class, they don't think it's going to be much of a workout. Okay, Richie, if you really want to be introduced. So
He likes
this
that.
is
He likes that
Bob
camera.
Morales' brother, of course, Richie Valens. Nice guy.
Hey,
Love him.
Richie.
He's a Leo. He loves to be the center of the show. He's always attracted to the spotlight wherever I have it set up. So that's Richie. He wanted to be introduced. So everything we did tonight was all for the solar plexus. We were working with very male energy. We were working with releasing because a huge part of trauma healing is learning to release, learning to let go. Some really great books is The Body Remembers, When the Body Says No, and It Didn't Begin with Me, I believe is the name of that book. An attorney from Zuni, Pueblo, was listening to that book on audio this week and told me it's pretty good. So,
Nice.
anyways, that's our session for this evening. Do you have any questions about any practices or anything? And for anyone watching this post recording on YouTube, you can always put your questions in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. Robert, do you have any questions tonight?
No questions. I'll just say that I just keep adding what you show
I
me
think you
to my.
might be on mute
Oh,
because I can't hear you. Oh, there you are.
you can hear me now?
Hold on. I still can't hear you. That's strange. Oh, that it's the audio on my end now. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Oh, okay. Not really question, but just the breathing techniques you have, I just add to my daily routines. I'm a teacher, so when I'm at class or whatever, the students are doing something, I just keep my breathing rhythm going and stuff like that. So it's going well.
Nice. I love to hear that. Yeah, it's great to learn just skills we can just weave into our daily workflow and everything. And breathing is one of those because it's so universal. So I'm really happy that you're coming to these sessions, Robert. And I hope anybody else out there is getting some